The following is a production of Neural Network Media and is completely AI generated. It is intended for entertainment and educational purposes only.
Good morning, everyone. It is Thursday, February 19th, 2026. You are listening to The Neural Right. I'm Will Sterling, coming to you from the main barn, which is basically a high-tech bunker at this point. And across from me is the only man who can find the archetypal resonance in a tax return, Dr. Walter Blackwood.
It's a somber morning, Will, but a necessary one. We are witnessing the shaking of the foundations. The old hierarchies are being called to account. And while it's bloody painful to watch the collapse, the truth has a way of asserting itself, eventually. It's no joke, man.
It's a busy show today, Walter. A really solid lineup. I mean, think about it. Yesterday, we were talking about Bruce Springsteen's bizarre No Kings tour, which is rich, coming from a guy who's been the king of New Jersey for 40 years, and that horrific shooting in Pawtucket. But today, the law actually caught up with a member of the ruling class.
Well, the architecture of power is changing. You see, the shield of status is becoming translucent, and what's behind it, well, it's not pretty. It's a tragedy for the institution, but a victory for the individual sovereignty of the law.
We have a lot to get through. We're going deep on the arrest of Andrew Mountbatten Windsor. Yes, that Andrew. The ICE holiday weekend surge that's actually taking predators off the streets, and some economic numbers that are going to make the experts look absolutely ridiculous.
Well, before we dive into the belly of the beast, Will, we should mention the new resource for the listeners. You see, the truth shouldn't be hidden behind a paywall of academic jargon or elite media gatekeeping.
Exactly. We've added a free trial to our Patreon. If you want to support what we do here, go to patreon.com/CW/Neural Network Media. On our Patreon, with every single episode, you get a full PDF with all the research we use. The links, the data, the source documents from the Fed and the court filings. You can do your own deep dive. It's a 7-day free trial. Patreon.com/Neural Network Media. Roughly speaking, it's about taking responsibility for your own information. It's about cleaning your intellectual room, so to speak, before you start forming opinions on the world. I love it. Now, Walter, lead us off. Because I woke up this morning, I looked at the wire, and I saw police raid Sandringham. I mean, what is going on here?
It is a watershed moment, Will. At 8 a.m. local time today, 6 unmarked police vehicles arrived at Wood Farm on the Sandringham estate in Norfolk. They were there to arrest Andrew Mountbatten Windsor, formerly Prince Andrew. Arrested? On the king's estate? Literally. He is currently in custody, arrested by the Thames Valley Police on suspicion of misconduct in public office. And look, we have to understand the context here. This isn't just about the old allegations we've known about for years. This is a new front opened up by the Epstein Files Transparency Act.
Right. The Guardian is reporting that this is specific to his time as Britain's special envoy for international trade between 2001 and 2011.
Exactly. The allegation, and it's a bloody serious one, is that Andrew used his public office to share confidential government trade reports with Jeffrey Epstein.
Think about it. They hate you. While you're out there trying to figure out how to pay your property taxes, a member of the royal family is treating secret trade data on Singapore and the UAE like trading cards to impress a billionaire predator? I mean, really? Why were they doing this?
It's the devouring father archetype in the political sphere, Will. It's the belief that the rules are for the peasants and the spoils are for the elite. The Epstein Library, millions of documents now being analyzed, suggests Andrew was sending sensitive reports to Epstein as early as 2010.
It's the ultimate betrayal. He wasn't just some guy in a palace. He was an envoy of the state. And according to CBS, This investigation is branching out. It's hitting the billionaire retail moguls like Les Wexner, too. The old guard is finally seeing the shield shatter.
It's about the restoration of order, when the hierarchy becomes parasitic, when it stops serving the people and starts serving the whims of the dark. It has to be dismantled. It's no joke, man. People have a deep biological sense when the game is rigged and they've had enough.
I mean, literally, if I shared a confidential document with a friend, I'd be under the jail. But for years, these people acted like they were untouchable. Walter, is this a sign that the ruling class is losing control of the narrative?
It's a sign that the narrative is being corrected by the facts. You can only lie for so long before reality kicks the door in. And speaking of the law kicking in the door, we have to talk about what's happening at our own border.
You mean the President's Day surge? While the elites were sipping champagne, ICE was actually doing its job?
It's bloody significant. Over the last 48 hours, DHS and ICE have released data from a massive nationwide enforcement operation. In West Virginia alone, they arrested 650 illegal aliens.
650 in West Virginia?
And Will, these aren't people who just forgot to renew their paperwork. Officials report that nearly 70% of current arrests involve individuals with prior criminal charges or convictions in the U.S.
I mean, think about it. We're talking about child predators. According to the DHS report, they arrested Pedro Ucub, convicted of sexual misconduct with a child under 15. They arrested rapists and drug traffickers. Why were these people still here?
Because the sanctuary ideology is a manifestation of a radical, lawless compassion. It's the desire to be kind at the expense of the safety of the individual. It's no joke, man. When you refuse to cooperate with ICE, you are not protecting immigrants, you are protecting predators who are preying on those very immigrant communities.
Exactly. And you have cities like New York and D.C. literally rebelling against the federal government to keep these people on the streets. I mean, truly, what is going on here?
Acting ICE Director Todd Lyons has moved to a zero-compromise approach, but the local politicians are fighting him every step of the way. It's a conflict between the national home and a radical borderless utopia that exists only in the minds of the activists. But the America First public safety mandate is gaining ground. Even in Minnesota, where there are protests against the surge, people are starting to ask, wait, why are we protesting the arrest of a child sex offender?
I mean, they hate you. They'd rather have a predator in your neighborhood than admit the ruling class was wrong about border security. It's a joke.
It's a tragedy, and it's not the only way they're trying to rewrite reality. Well, I looked at the news from the European Parliament this morning, and I almost couldn't believe it.
You mean the gender mandate? 340 to 141?
They passed a resolution declaring that trans women are women as a core recommendation for the UN. But that wasn't even the most insane part.
Oh, I know the part you mean. They actually rejected an amendment that stated only biological women can become pregnant. 233 people voted against a basic biological fact. It's a direct assault on the truth, truly. When you have a political body that decides it can legislate away the fundamental biological realities of the human species, you are no longer in the realm of policy. You are in the realm of a pathological ideology that wants to replace what is with what I want. I mean, really? 233 people? Do they think men can get pregnant now? Literally? It's the postmodern neo-Marxist desire to dissolve all categories. Because if you can dissolve the category of woman, you can dissolve the category of mother. And if you dissolve mother, you dissolve the family. And once the family is gone, the state has total control over the individual. It's bloody dangerous, man. And they want to take this to the UN Commission on the Status of Women. They want to make this the global standard. But at the same time, here in the States, the Supreme Court is looking at cases about women's sports. There's a reality check movement growing. People are waking up. They're tired of being told that their eyes are lying to them. You see, the common sense counter-revolution is about reclaiming the right to say that 2 + 2 = 4. Exactly. And while the EU is busy trying to figure out who can get pregnant, the U.S. economy is showing some very interesting signs of life under the Trump engine.
The Atlanta Fed released their business inflation expectation survey yesterday, and it's a breakthrough, roughly speaking.
1.93%. That's the year-ahead inflation expectation from actual business owners.
That is a return to the pre-Biden normal. It's matching the median level from 2015 to 2019.
Think about that. The experts on CNN have been screaming for months that tariffs would cause massive inflation. They said the sky would fall. But the actual price setters, the business leaders, are saying, actually, we're back to the Trump normal.
Because the markets react to stability and the restoration of production. Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick is predicting 5 to 6% growth by the end of the year. That's phenomenal, Will.
It is. And look at manufacturing. Factory output reached a 3-year peak in late 2025. We are making things again. Now, okay, I saw the manufacturing employment numbers were down by 108,000.
Well, that's the thing. It's bloody complicated. We're seeing record output with a shift towards efficiency and automation. It's a transition from a low-wage service economy back to a high-output industrial power. It's not about just jobs as a number. It's about the strength of the national industrial base.
Right. It's about not being dependent on China for every single nut and bolt. Which brings me to the next story, Walter. The Iran standoff. This is getting very, very serious.
It's a maximum pressure 2.0 situation. After the talks in Geneva collapsed yesterday, the administration is signaling that the military is ready for strikes as early as Saturday, February 21st.
We have a massive a crucial naval deployment in the region. The USS Abraham Lincoln is there. The USS Gerald Ford is on the way. 150 military cargo flights in the last 72 hours.
It's a historic mobilization. We have to remember Operation Midnight Hammer from last June when those B-2 Spirit bombers dropped the bunker busters on the Iranian nuclear sites. The administration is signaling that they will not allow Tehran to reconstitute those capabilities.
And Secretary Rubio is putting 25% tariffs on any country that buys Iranian oil. He's looking directly at China. I mean, talk about the frame. He's not just asking China to stop. He's making them pay for the privilege of funding a terror state.
It's the America First defense strategy. It's about saying our interests and our security come before the global stability that usually just means U.S. concessions. But I worry. Well, the cost of war is always paid by the individual young man who has to go into the breach. We have to hope the strength of the deterrent is enough to prevent the strike.
I hope so too, but the ruling class in Tehran has to know we're not playing around anymore. Speaking of not playing around, let's look at New York City, Walter. Did you see the bailout numbers?
Mayor Mamdani and Governor Hochul, $1.5 billion in state funding for the city.
A $1.5 billion bailout that rewards fiscal mismanagement. I mean, think about it. The city has a $7 billion budget gap because they spent $12 billion on the migrant crisis that they invited.
It's the bailout of the radical agenda. Instead of changing the policies that are bankrupting the city, they just demand more money from the taxpayers in upstate New York and the rest of the country.
Exactly. And while they're throwing billions at youth programming and social programs, the basic infrastructure is rotting. Trump is out there talking about the sewage problems in the fight with Westmore. I mean, literally, these cities can't even handle the waste, but they want to lecture us on climate change.
It's the collapse of the city-state, roughly speaking. When you prioritize ideological signaling over paving roads and managing sewage, you end up with a public health disaster and a fiscal crisis. It's a failure of the basic duties of governments.
It's a joke. But wait, we need a win. Let's talk about Quinn Hughes.
Now there's a story of virtue and responsibility.
Overtime goal, 3:27 into overtime against Sweden. The U.S. men's hockey team is in the semifinals. I mean, did you see the highlights? Freebird blaring in the arena? The fans going crazy?
And look at what he said afterward. He didn't talk about his brand. He didn't talk about his endorsements. He said, I'm playing for all the U.S. kids who are passionate about USA hockey. I've been really enjoying wearing the crest.
Wearing the crest. Contrast that with Eileen Gu.
It's a tragedy, really. A girl born in California, trained with American resources,
representing China for $23 million in endorsements.
I mean, really, it's the mercenary athlete versus the national icon. She's out here claiming she was attacked at Stanford for her decision. Walter, maybe people just don't like it when you sell out your home country to a hostile regime for coffee money.
It's a lack of roots, Will. Quinn Hughes has roots. He wants to restore the Miracle on Ice legacy. He understands that he is a part of something larger than himself. Eileen Gu is a corporation with a pair of skis.
Exactly. And speaking of sellouts, let's talk about the media, Stephen Colbert and the FCC.
Brendan Carr is remaking the FCC into a more aggressive regulator, and it's about time.
CBS lawyers had to step in during a taping of The Late Show. They pulled a planned interview with a Democratic Senate candidate because they were afraid of the equal time rule.
For years, these late-night shows have been considered bona fide news programs to get around the rule. But Carr is saying, no, you are a political platform. If you give free campaign time to one side, you have to give it to the other.
I mean, truly, think about it. These guys have been acting like the communications arm of the ruling class for a decade. Now, if they want to interview a Democrat, they have to invite the Republican too. That is a fair frame.
It's about restoring balance to the media machine. We're seeing a $108 billion bidding war for Warner Brothers Discovery. The entire landscape is shifting. Public trust in media is at a 72-year low, Will. People know they're being lied to.
They do, and that's why this network exists. That's why Eric Christensen built this platform, to respect your intelligence, not to program you.
It's about the truth, always.
Well, we've covered the royal arrest, the border surge, the gender madness, and the hockey hero. It's been a busy day, but a good one for common sense.
It's a restoration of order, piece by piece. Clean your room, stay strong, and don't let the chaos dragon get the better of you.
Exactly. Check out the Patreon for that free trial and the research PDFs. We'll be back tomorrow to keep an eye on the Iranian situation and everything else they don't want you to see. What is even going on here? It's bloody complicated, but no joke.